Alrighty here, guys. So looks like most of you guys are in pretty darn good shape. We're almost ready to start putting these things together. Would you agree? And in order to put it together, we're going to have to do some laying out and some drilling. Okay, because we want to nail our sideboards onto our bottoms, and we're going to want to nail our end paddles onto our project as well. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to learn how to lay out the paddle pieces. Okay, sometimes I call them the sides, sometimes I call them the ends, but I always call them the paddles. All right, so we're going to lay out the paddle pieces. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our paddle right here. Okay, we're going to confirm that it is the same width as our bottom, because we definitely don't want to get into a pickle later on. And even though we did rip them down all the same width, this one's really close up, like just a smidgen. That's totally fine. What we want to make sure is that one wasn't 9 1/4 and one was 9. Okay, and these here are pretty good. It happens every once in a while. Somebody's out for a few days, they come back in, they miss that step. So we just want to confirm. Luke's look good. We're in great shape here. So can we agree that our paddle is going to cover up both our bottom board and our sideboards? Yeah, it's not going to sit on top, it's just going to cover it all. Makes it look pretty clean. We like it that way. So we know that we're going to want to put some nails through this into our bottom board, and we're also going to want to nail into our sideboard. And we're going to go over how to figure that out right now. So, first things first, we need to find the outside of this paddle. And how do you think we're going to find the outside? Who wants to take a guess? Can be wrong. Oh, check for the curve, he said. What kind of curve are we looking for? It starts with a C just like that, you're right. The cup. And how do we check for the cup of the board? We could do it two ways. How do I usually do it? How do you see me guys do it? How do you see me do it? Okay, so you guys like to do the wobble test. So if I was to take my ruler and put it like this, it looks like I have space underneath. So this is my valley right here. On the other side of the valley would be the hump, right? So right now it's cupped down facing the table. Me, I usually just take the board and I sight down it. And look, if you sight down that end, can you see how it is humped big time that way? And that's really normal for the board to be cupped, especially when they're really wide boards like this. So we look at this. If I put my ruler on this side, the ruler's got a teeter-totter. If I put it on this side, it's got a space in the middle, which means that this right here is my hump. Hump is the outside. I'm just going to put a little O on there so I know I'm laying out my outside. Now, we also said that we wanted to put some nails into this bottom board and our sideboards. Can we agree that all of these boards are the same thickness? Can we agree with that? Yeah. They're all off the same pile. They're all off the same order. Do you guys remember what that thickness was? How thick are these boards? They're 1 by 10 by 12s when we order them. They're 1 by 10 by 12s. So how thick do you think they are? Most people would say an inch, but it's really not an inch. It's less than an inch, you're correct. Anybody remember? They're 3/4 of an inch, okay? And we could all obviously take our ruler right here and we could measure it, and yep, sure thing, it's 3/4 of an inch. Luke, if you were to take a guess, where would you want the nail to go into this board, roughly? Middle, the center of the board, right? Can we agree that right there is the center? Yeah, we want our nails, all right, to go through the center of a 3/4 inch piece. Now they're not going to go through the center of this; they're going to go through the center of this, all right. But we want our nails to go into the center. Who knows what the center or the halfway point of 3/4 is? I'll write it down right here. 3/4. 3/4 sometimes you guys say. What? It is 3/8. How did you know that? Okay, he takes math, so he's a smart one. How do I do it? Because I'm not the smartest. What do? I got a little catchy phrase I use. I don't ever. I don't say that. I say double the denominator. That's it. Double the denominator. That's all you got to do. To find the center of a fraction, to find the halfway point of the fraction, double the denominator. All right, so 3 over 4, which one's our denominator? The 4. What do? So it's 3 over 8. All right, well, Luke, if I wanted to find what the center of 3/8 would be, what would it be? It would be 3/16, because you just keep doubling the denominator, right? So we know that now that the center of our 3/4 inch board is 3/8 of an inch. All right, and that's important because that's one of our axes of our crosshairs. So let's go over how to lay that out. It looks like we got to make a U to put our crosshairs on. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use the 8th side because it's nice and easy for me to count. 1, 2, 3. And I'll come up here. 1, 2, 3. Do you think I should press super hard and dark with my line? And now I'm going to draw this nice straight line. Why don't I want to press really hard and dark? What do you think? Am I going to sand it off later? You think the pencil can actually groove my wood? Especially this soft pine right here. Now I'm going to come up because I want to make my 3/8 inch U. And I'm going to draw this line. Grab that for me, Bryson. Slippery little sucker. What movie's that from? I probably already told you guys. Pretty Woman. Slippery little suckers. All right, and I just came in 3/8 of an inch on this side, so I'm going to show you guys why I call it my 3/8 U. All right, do you see how it's a U? And how far in is that line off of every side? It is 3/8, okay? So I came in 3/8, drew a straight line. Up 3/8, drew a straight line. In 3/8, drew a straight line. Now, that's our one axis of our crosshairs. Now we need to pick out where we want to put the other axis of our crosshairs. Would you agree? Okay. Well, if we were to put one definitely somewhere in this bottom line, where do you think we should definitely put one of them? What do you say? In the middle, absolutely. So let's take a look at this here. This board measures 9 inches. What's half of 9? It is 4.5. So there's our one crosshair. Now, should we use these other little spots over here where the U are to put our other nail in, or is that pretty close to the edge? What do you think? Think it's pretty close to the edge? I agree. How far in would you like to come in off the edge? Take a guess. I don't care. I don't really have a set number. I just got a number in mind. What's an easy number? 1? Can you guys count that high? Good. All right. So let's come in 1 inch. Nice and easy. 1. How far do you think I'm going to come in off this side? Yeah. Now, if we wanted to, we could come in less or we could come in more. 1 inch is fine, okay? It's far enough away from the edge. All right, I happen to like the way it is. Now, if we came in 1 inch right here, all right, do you think that we should maybe come up 1 inch over here? Okay. That puts my nail, well, like a 1/4 of an inch into this board over here. I'm not crazy about that. You think we should come up more? What would you like to come up? Well, what's a little bit more than 1? Okay, what's somewhere between 1 and 2? All right, I like that. You like that? Is that pretty good? Let's come up 1.5 inches. All right, now, look at this. Up 1.5 inches is actually only 3/4 of an inch into this sideboard. Do you guys see that? It's not 1.5 inches in this board. It's 3/4 of an inch up into this board. And if I take a look at this right here, it looks like if I put another nail in this area right here, all right, can we agree this is pretty close to the top right here? That's at 4.5 inches. So let's make our second crosshair up 4.5 inches. So I came up how much on this side, Mariah? I came up 4.5 here, and I came up how much here? What was that number between 1 and 2? Yeah. So how much am I going to come up on this side, you think? Okay, 1.5. And what's the other one? 4.5. All right. Now, are you going to be able to remember all that? Maybe. All right, so here, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since we got 120 of you guys, I'm going to draw it on the board for you, okay? So I have here that this line here is 3/8 up, and this line here is 3/8 in. Can we agree that this is my 3/8 U right here? Can we agree that that dotted line is my 3/8 U that I call it? And we want to put another crosshair. We want to put another crosshair right here. And this one was how far? It was 1.5. And how high up was this one to the top one, right? It was 4.5. And what does this line with the C through it mean? What do you think, Gates? It is the center. That's the one of you guys, right? The middle of the center. How about over here? How high up was this one again, right? Top line? 4.5. And we've got another crosshair right here. And how high up was that one, right? Do I have them all marked out? Oh, I gotta do one more down here. How far in was this one? On the bottom. Who remembers that one? Well, the 3/8 U is already on there. There's a crosshair in for my edge. How much did we come in? It's a really easy number to remember. What was it? 1. Now, I'm not the best drawer with a big piece of chalk, but can we agree that this crosshair here, can we agree that we drew our 3/8 inch U? Did we draw a 3/8 inch U on the project to start with? Yes. And Gates, where was my first one that I laid out on my bottom? The center. And how far in did I come on each one? 1 inch, correct? And how high up did I come on this line? And is it pretty easy to do? If somebody at your table is having trouble, could you probably help them? Yes. All right, so do you need to ask me? 20 kids need to ask me, or should we rely on each other sometimes? Should rely on each other sometimes. Bryson, can you get this for me here, buddy? All right, so Luke, can you agree that we have this all the way laid out on this one? Yep. So what are we probably going to do? Are we just going to nail it together, or what should we do? What do you think we're going to do with these crosshairs? We're going to drill it, right? We're going to pre-drill it so that our nails follow that hole, all right, so that we have something that helps guide it in. All right, and a lot of times people want to use drill bits to drill it, and that's fine and dandy. But we're actually going to use these nails right here to put our project together. Now these happen to be 4D nails, and they are 1.5 inches long. And we're going to cut the head off of this nail, since we're using this exact size, and we're going to use this to drill it. Now, you might say, you know, you're really cheap there, Mr. Brown, for using a nail. You know, why don't you just buy some drill bits? And I could. The drill bits might only be like 50 cents a piece. You grab that for me, buddy? The drill bits might only be 50 cents a piece. But what happens if Murray breaks one, and Jared over here breaks one, and Tommy breaks one, and Susie breaks one? All right, now I'm up to $2. And then we do that next period and the period after. It starts adding up, right? This thing here is probably not even a couple of cents. So if this breaks, I'm like, no big deal. Now, drill bits are hard, which means that they are brittle, right? So they don't bend, they break. A nail is going to bend. If the nail bends, then we have to get rid of it. Since it's also a soft metal, all right, when it heats up, sometimes it can break in your project. And we're going to go over a couple of ways to try and not have that happen. So I just cut the head off of my nail. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it in my project right here. And how thick was this board? It was 3/4. I'm going to set my nail depth for 3/4 of an inch. Do you know why? Who knows why? Who wants to take a guess why? Doesn't go all the way through. Why is that important? It doesn't go all the way through. Where are we going to be drilling at? On top of our tables? Am I going to want holes in my table? These tables are $2,000 a piece. I sure don't want any holes in them, all right, more than what they have right now. So if we take a look, our nail is now set at the depth of our board. We're now ready to go ahead and drill these. Now, remember that when we go to put put our nails in later on, the nails are going to follow the hole that you drill. So if we drill our hole cockeyed, is the nail going to go in cockeyed? Yeah. So we want to try to drill it as straight as possible. Okay. So when we do this, remember it needs to be straight this way, and it needs to be straight this way. Okay. A lot of that comes with experience. If you want to have somebody help you, watch it, I can definitely see that I'm good this way. Can you guys agree with that? I'm definitely seeing that I'm good this way. I can't see this way. All right, I could have somebody watch for me. I know that I'm good. Now, do I need to take this drill here and go full speed with it? I'm not really drilling, right? Just kind of forcing it through. The faster I go with the drill bit, all right, the hotter it's going to get. The hotter it gets, all right, the more soft it's going to get, and it's going to break. If you take this like this and you drop it on the table, bang, what's going to happen to the nail? It's going to bend. And it's probably not going to break because it's soft. Soft metal bends, hard metal breaks. The harder it is, easier it breaks. The softer it is, it just bends. All right? So what you have to think about is this, right? Don't, you guys like to one-hand stuff. When I go to put this thing down, I take it and I set it like this. I don't ever hold it by this and whop it down. And somebody in here will do it. It's okay, because it's only a couple cents. All right, but it does take time to take it out, put another one in, blah, 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 blah. Luke, do you want to try drilling one real quick, buddy? Does it really matter which direction I'm going with the drill bit either? Nah, because it's not really a bit. He's going to put it right on there. He's going to get nice and straight. All right, that looks pretty good. Good. Did that drill pretty easy?
Yeah.
It did. So listen, I know that he has to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He needs to do 7 holes per paddle. Now we did 1. He's going to have to lay out the other one. He is going to have to drill this. All right, and we just talked to Gates here a minute ago. And what are we going to do with each other at our table? Are we just going to let that person give it a shot themselves if they're struggling? We're going to help them out, right? All right, you guys have any questions with this right here? If we don't know what our measurements are, where do we find them? They're on the board, right? Kind of like that frequently asked questions list. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to execute this. It looks very nice.